Justin, I'll hit you up on this, both of you, of course, about the Golden Gophers. Anything on them yet? I can't say that I've done a deep dive on Minnesota. I have looked at them a few times this summer in regards to Ethan Kalikimanis taking over as the starting quarterback. He played quite a bit last year and hit up Wisconsin for over 300 yards in the final regular season game. But anything on Minnesota?
I think Minnesota has a solid team. Of course, they're going to be tough, but I know a lot of people are just penning us as this big underdog. And no, Minnesota does. I mean, their Vegas odds might not indicate that they have a huge shot for the Big Ten West, but it's also because their schedule is so daunting. But I do think that people are gassing them up a little too much. It's always seemed to me that Minnesota, even when Minnesota is outside of the one year they drubbed us, we still kind of play them close pretty regularly. So I've never thought Minnesota was that far ahead of us, all things considered. I always thought we could out-talent them. It was just coaching. And so I don't think that they bring superior talent to the field necessarily. So I just think there's a lot yet to be seen on that before we can kind of gauge, because it's just, it's fun to gauge, it's fun to try, but it's just that going into it. Just I think not a lot of people are accounting for that too.
Yeah, and if you talk to the team, they don't really expect much different than what they've seen from Minnesota over the last few seasons anyway. They don't really hide much, and they do what they're successful at doing. So I think just a little bit difference in personnel, but you're pretty much going to see the same schemes that you've been seeing from them.
Yeah, I'm actually very confident in that game. So I don't know if that could be just the red, the scarlet colored glasses, but we'll see.
I think it should be a pretty competitive game either way. So
it'll be close, and then if we can just come out and win a close one immediately, that will turn out to be the biggest win I can remember in a long time.
Yeah.
So
I will be surprised if it's not close.
Yeah, especially going back to what we were talking about with ball security. If Nebraska can hang on to the ball, it should be a pretty darn close game. So
just got to hope the growing pains are minimal, just with a lot of new pieces. I think that's what we thought was happening with the Northwestern game last year. Turns out that wasn't the case, but still kind of prepared for that, of course, to get better as the season goes, but hopefully nothing too self-inflicting to where we kind of feel like it's recurring still. But the way these guys are in tune and speaking to what he's making them go through in practices, he's just basically just drilling them, callousing their mind and making sure that they can push through in this heat and stuff like that. They're doing a good job of balancing indoor outdoor, to prevent heat casualties and stuff like that. But he's really putting an emphasis on just making these guys work as hard as they can in practice, so the game comes easy. And naturally, when you're not thinking about saving your air for the next rep, you can just play, to the ball, and you can play, 100% on every single play. And then you stop thinking about the fatigue and you start focusing on reacting more on the field. So I don't think that can be understated either. That's huge.
Yeah, by all accounts, the football part of it has looked good on both sides of the ball. And, the things that they've been working on where they've had some struggles with is just the technical type of things, like just getting into the huddle, getting in and out of the huddle, and getting substitutions in and out in a timely fashion. And so that's some of the stuff that they've been working on. And it sounds like that got much better here Saturday in scrimmage number 2.
Yeah, because there's no telling how many of those drives that we had previously that could have been touchdowns. It seemed like every time we would get some momentum, we would, on a first down, have some kind of penalty on the O-line or some kind of movement, illegal movement penalty, and it would always set us back. And then it was just playing from behind constantly. So, that all of those things are going to just those alone are going to make such a huge impact if they get those switched around.
Absolutely.